and welcome to another edition of Mainstreet TV. I'm your host, Stephanie Elworth. Today we're here at the second annual Entrepreneur Day hosted in the Downtown Conference Center. This event is an opportunity for people to come and gain information about how to start a business or how to augment an existing business. We do this once a year in partnership with the Douglas County Sentinel as well as the Douglas County Chamber of Commerce. We have a really exciting event today, and we're so glad that you could be with us. This event is composed of vendor booths where you can go and meet different types of businesses that can assist you in consultation for your small business. The lineup for today consists of vendor booths, which you can travel around to talk to the different consultants and get some information on how to augment your business and some different types of services that would be helpful for your upcoming business. We also have a schedule of speakers that will be talking about different topics such as how to build your business plan, how to survive in the economy today, where's the best location for your business, and how to switch from corporate-based business to home-based business. We're really excited to have such a great lineup, and we're excited for you to be here today on Mainstreet TV.
I'm very excited, though, to share with you a little bit about online marketing trends. Now, Patty gave you some very inspirational words about how marketing your business and telling your story to build revenue is about one-on-one relationships. I'm not here really to tell you anything different. I'm here to tell you that you can take that same story and those same one-on-one relationships and extend your brand online. I don't want you to think about Facebook as somewhere to post your kid pictures. I don't want you to think about Twitter in terms of saying, I just went to Starbucks and had a macchiato and boy, it was good, wish you were here. I want you to think about these online trends in terms of finding the people who are predisposed to your product or service, reaching them in a way that is efficient and cheap, with the right message, so they will purchase or recommend your product or service. That's what it really is all about. You can reduce your marketing expenses with an online portfolio, and you can improve your revenue. So we're going to talk about 5 specific trends today and give you some specific takeaways. Now, if you don't already have the little tasty takeaway sheet, Stephanie has them, and these are the 5 trends that we're going to talk about today. First, though, I want to preface this by saying that the times are a-changing. These are not the same buyers and consumers that they were 5 years ago, or 2 years ago, or 6 months ago, for that matter. Your buyer, when I say that, or consumer, whether you're B2B or B2C, whoever your target audience is, they're smart, and they're the smartest they've ever been because they have more access to more information about you and your competitors and your products and services. 90% of the prospects will go out and look at your online portfolio first before they ever pick up the phone to call you, ever email you, ever reach out to you. And after they even talk to you one-on-one, because Patty talked about this, 9 times out of 10, they're still going to go back to their office and they're going to put you in Google and find out more about you. So they're still going to do their due diligence. You can't pull the wool over the consumer's eyes any longer, which leads me to point number 2, which is pull marketing is now and push marketing is dead. Let me tell you the difference between the two, okay? Push marketing was back in the day, and I long for back in the day. I really do. Back in the day, you were able to write a marketing plan that everybody's talked about. You had your message, you knew your story, you had your elevator pitch, you had your great product or service, and then you put it on a slick or on a brochure. Or you created a radio ad. Or you did an ad that went into the paper. That's push marketing. That's taking your message and pushing it out and controlling the message. You weren't having a two-way conversation back in the day. You really weren't. You were pushing your information out. These days, people don't want to see your propaganda stream. I'm just telling you. I know you're happy about your business, and I'm happy for you that you love your business. But they're not interested in your propaganda stream. They're interested in creating a two-way dialogue and a relationship. That's pull marketing. Pull marketing is where you still develop the relationship, you still create that tight message, you still can explain what it is you do in 30 seconds or less. So you're still doing that. You've got the type marketing, but now you're pulling them into your community. You're not just telling them what you do and why you're so good at it. You're giving them value for having that relationship. You're posting cool articles on your Facebook page. You've got a website that gives them content. It's not just your brochure online. Nobody wants your brochure online. People want to go out to your website, find out about what you do, and then have a takeaway. Have some value from that. That's pull marketing. It's developing the relationship and the dialogue. You're just doing it online. It's not just a propaganda stream. And the third thing I want to talk about before we hop straight into this is that customer expectations have never been higher. Have never been higher. It's really, again, it's interesting, and that's because they have so much information. They're going to know pretty quickly whether or not you're blowing smoke. They're going to know pretty quickly whether or not your product is really priced wrong. They're going to know pretty quick whether or not you've got good customer service or not. And let me tell you what, especially in this economy, and I know all of you know it, especially sitting around the room, people are expecting more for a little bit less. For a little bit less. Now, doesn't mean you can't still charge great prices, because you can. And I'm a big believer in not discounting. I think if you have to discount, there's a bigger problem. But they do expect a fairer price for a lot more goods, information, and content. So customer expectations are high. So what does all this mean for us? It means that there are 5 key trends that now we're going to talk about. Trend number 1, digital portfolios rule. Now, whether you like it or not, my friends, you are in the process of creating an online brand. Your online brand is a natural extension of the brand that Patty talked about, and the brand that Ray talked about, and the brand that Kelly talked about. And whether or not you are actively out there posting, people are doing it for you. So if you're not out there taking ownership of your own brand, the same way you do one-to-one, if I go over here and talk smack about Rhonda, I would never do that, just so you know, Rhonda. I know, okay, but if I go over here in the corner and talk smack about Rhonda, it's going to get back to Rhonda, because Rhonda's in the room here, right? Someone's going to go, Rhonda, do you know Lee's over talking smack about you? And we're going to have a conversation. It's no different online. Only you're not going to know about it unless you're paying close attention. Now, an online portfolio may be a lot of things. It's definitely your website at the very basic level. It's also any online ads you post on the Douglas County Sentinel. You know why? Because that's indexed by Google. So those pop up if someone searches for you. Any article that they may have written about you on the Sentinel, it may be in the print copy, but guess what else they do with it? They post it online. That's exactly right. It's anything you've ever put out on Twitter. It's anything you've ever put out on Facebook. So if you have pictures on Facebook where you had a lampshade on your head from New Year's Eve of 2003, okay, that kind of stuff is out there. It's also reviews. Anyone who's ever reviewed a product or service. Anywhere you've ever posted a comment about a blog. The interesting thing about the online portfolio and the online brand is it's there forever. It's an aggregation of everything anyone's ever said about you and your company and your brand. And anybody can reach it. All they have to do is know what to Google for. So how can you make money off that? Well, in order to market successfully, you must say no to random digital tactics. Let me tell you what a random digital tactic is. I love this. A random digital tactic is I see clients all the time. They have this spectacular little brochure or a really cool looking slick. And I go, ooh, that's really nice. Has a nice message. Rhonda may have written it for them. She does good work at that. So, and I'm like, this is really nice. Has a nice logo, good colors. And then I go online and I look at their website. Does it look like this? No, it does not. It has no consistency of message, no consistency of brand, no consistency of tone. And then I go and look at their Facebook page. Well, Lee, you'd be so proud. I now have a Facebook page. That's cool. I go on their Facebook page. Do they have their logo on the left sidebar? No. Do they have a custom tab that links back to their website so people can buy their products and services? No. What are they doing? They're talking about the fact that they just had a great client meeting, but they're not telling you what they do and why you should find out more information. Those are random digital tactics. It's where people are doing all of these things separately, but none of them speak to each other. Digital portfolios rule. And if you think there are people who aren't out there looking for you, you're wrong. Trend number 2. The buyer's voice is stronger than ever. Just when you thought word of mouth could not be more important, it is. Because word of mouth now has extended to online. So when they go out there and they do post a review about your product or service, or even better, your competitor's product or service, it's again indexed by the search engines and available forever and in perpetuity. And let me give you an example of how powerful the customer's voice is. This is a true example too. I have a friend who's in Chicago. She travels routinely to Denver. True story. So she goes to Denver. She's been a customer of Avis's for 15 years. Goes to Denver, she's rented the car already online, goes up to the little kiosk there in the concourse, and they say, I'm sorry, Gina, we don't have a car for you. She said, excuse me, I've had this rented now for however long. I'm a corporate customer. I have been doing business for 15 years with you. And she said, sorry. And Gina's like, not even a subcompact? You don't even have a little smart car so I can barely get in? Nothing. You have nothing for me to drive. And they said, no, nothing for you to drive. And so she, being key to the digital portfolio, whips out her iPhone, hops on to Twitter, and does the little Twitter handle, @Avis, at Denver airport, no car, ticked off. That's all she tweeted. It wasn't 8 minutes, she timed it later because she knew it was going to happen. Hertz was monitoring Avis. True story. Tweets her back and says, whatever her name is, @Gina, whatever it was, walk down the concourse, Hertz has got a car for you. 15 years as a customer. She immediately went down there, got the car, picked up her phone again, and what did she do then? That's right. Hertz just gave me a car. Situation resolved. Avis, you're SOL. And there it goes, right? So then what happens, to show you the power of this, she tweets it out. She has, 3,000 or 4,000 followers on Twitter, just Twitter alone. And then folks like us, I said, oh, look at that. Now there's a good case study. And I couldn't believe it. I said, Gina, lost in the Denver airport. That's a pretty cool story. So then we retweet it. We have 3,000 followers. So now it's exponentially up to potentially 6,000 people reading about how, crappy Avis was to her and how fabulous Hertz was. So that's what we're talking about. The buyer oftentimes is not the one who's going to say to you, I recommend Professional Mojo, although that's good. These days in online marketing, it's more likely that if you say, I'm going to work with company X, Y, or Z, they're more likely to tell you why not to do business with them. So it's really the inverse relationship of word of mouth. So the customer's voice is stronger than ever because they have more outlets, more ways to talk about you, more places to put it, And in fact, I saw, one last thing on this, I saw a statistic yesterday, and it said fully, 68% of buyers now are beginning to complain or recommend online. So they go to Facebook, they go to Twitter, they go directly to your website, they go to the chat lines, they go to the forums, and they say their piece. Now, why are people choosing to do that rather than pick up the phone and call? Why do you think? You cover more people, absolutely. More people likely to see it, and what else? It's quicker. It is. Let me tell you what. I get better responses via Twitter for most companies than I get anywhere else. Because they know the minute I tweet out something not very good, I'll put it that way, that Google's going to index it. Remember what I said a while ago? It affects their online portfolio. So what do you need to know? You need to know that you need to be monitoring yourself. That's still number one. You need to monitor yourself, your brand, your products, your services, and your competition online, because it's an opportunity for you. Number two, you need to know the buyer's out there and they're looking for ways to dialogue with you. Make it easy for them. Make it easy for them to contact you and talk to you on the web. Make it easy for them to follow you on Twitter. This is even if you're a local business. We do business with people where their entire market is like a 5 square mile area. You'd be shocked and amazed how many people are on Facebook within 5 miles of 30135. I can tell you 46,237 people. And I can send a pay-per-click ad on Facebook directly to those 46,237 people. That's powerful. Number three, the real-time web is changing the game. So what I mean by that is that Google now, who knows what search engine optimization is? A few folks, okay? Search engine optimization means taking your website, this is what it used to mean, taking your website, writing copy for it, and putting code under it that Google likes, okay? So there are certain words that describe what it is you do and what your business is. And those are the words that people go to Google and Yahoo and Bing and type in the search bar to find you, okay? So when you optimize a website, you take those words and phrases that describe what it is that you do, and you optimize it so Google will pick those things up and rank you higher. Okay? That's what search engine optimization basically is. These days, Google not only goes out every night and crawls your website, it does. Okay? Kind of creepy to think about that. Crawls your website, and it takes those keywords and it puts it into its kind of like big database. So when people start searching, they'll find you. Well, now it's out there crawling Twitter. So follow me on this. It's crawling Twitter. It's reading the Twitter status updates for over 30 million users, and it's indexing the Twitter status updates. So if you have 2 good keywords that rank really high, and you use them all over your website and in your coding, and then you repeat those 2 keywords in your Twitter status updates, do you follow where this is going? All this builds together for the good. Google then goes, ooh, I see these 2 keywords on my website. Ooh, I see these 2 keywords on all these Twitter updates. Ooh, I see all these 2 keywords on my Facebook page update. Oh, I see these 2 keywords on my LinkedIn updates. It all begins to build on each other because Google now is serving up Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and Merchant Circle and Yowza and a whole bunch of other stuff I won't even say in here. Real time. When you search, not only do you get the regular rankings, you get all this social media stuff as a regular ranking too. Trend number 4. Mobile plus location-based marketing plus social media equals a huge opportunity for you to market your business. Now, I'm going to give you a concrete example about what that is. I took my iPhone out. I have it's called a mobile location service called Foursquare. Foursquare, if you've ever heard of it, really is just where it knows where I am if I open it up on my iPhone. And then it tells me all the places around me, restaurants, the Douglas County Courthouse, whatever's going on, churches, the Shell oil station, all this kind of stuff pops up. And this is really good if you're traveling, particularly, because it pops up. And then if you want to, you can talk to your friends on Foursquare, and they know where you are. Okay, that's creepy to some, exciting to others. That's all up to you. There's even actually a creepier side to it, too, which I love, because I kind of like that kind of thing. I'm pointy-headed. Is that when you go in to an establishment and open up Foursquare, if someone else is on Foursquare at the same time, I know, isn't that great? It's like, oh, Patty's on Foursquare, and she's here. So you're wondering, who's Patty? Which one's Patty? You look for somebody else who's on their iPhone or BlackBerry around there too. All right. Anyway, I like that kind of thing. So I go. It's a true story. Again, I go to it's a local place. One of our clients here locally, and it's a little cafe. So I go in and I want to check in on Foursquare. So because my mission is to be the mayor of that location. There's points, and I open it up, and what happens is Carrabba's sends me a coupon. Now, I'm not at Carrabba's. Let me just point this out. But Carrabba's is nearby. That is wicked. Okay? Carrabba's sent me a coupon while I was sitting at somebody else's establishment that was not that far away. So I'm able to look at it and go, well, I thought I might have this, but pasta's sounding pretty good now because I can get $5 off and a free appetizer. Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. Your mobile phone plus a location-based service that knows where you are, like Gowalla or Yowza or Foursquare, plus the power of the social media equals an amazing marketing opportunity. And let me add something else about the mobile for a second. Did you know that cell phones, the number of people who have cell phones has now exceeded, in the United States, has now exceeded the number of people who have internet in their homes or cable TV. You can reach more people by sending out a coupon as a text message or through Foursquare than you can via other types of things. Now, understand that when you put all that together, that's the most powerful. Run your ads on cable, okay? If that's the great target audience for you. Put your ads in the Sentinel if that's the right target audience for you. So understand these are not standalone, but the power here is huge. One other quick little anecdote about that. They did a survey, Nielsen did recently. I love this. You gotta love teenagers. Who has teenagers? Anybody have teenagers? Great, it's like me. Yeah, okay, it improves as they get older. So I've been told. So the teenagers, they did a survey recently, and let me read this to you. It's so cute. It says that teenagers would rather lose their wallet, or we said this earlier, would rather lose their wallet than lose their cell phone. So basically, I know it. They would rather have someone swipe their wallet with their money and their identity than they would, for Pete's sake, take their cell phone. That's how this, and you know this if you have kids, that's how this generation is so attached, not just to online technology, but to mobile technology. I believe that there will be a time, this is my prognostication for today, I believe that there will be a time where you will only reach them on the browser, on their web, on their phone. There won't even be these. And that's going in that direction now. I access my browser and internet on my phone all the time. And I am no longer the exception. I'm scarily becoming the rule. Okay. Trend number 5, and this is the most important thing for my talk today. This is the most important trend. And it's not really a trend, it's something you should be doing as any business owner, which is marketing integration. And this is big for a couple of reasons. It's because, remember I said that Google's looking at all those things now? It looks at Twitter. It looks at your Facebook business page. Now, it's not looking at your Facebook profile. So if you have a personal profile where you have your little friends on there and your privacy settings are good, it's not out there crawling that. Do not be alarmed, okay? And write Facebook and say, Lee said, because that's not it. But public business pages that you set up for marketing purposes, it is crawling that. So it's crawling LinkedIn, it's crawling Facebook, it's crawling Twitter, it's crawling your website, it's crawling Merchant Circle, it's crawling Foursquare, it's crawling everything that is out there. And it's going to get one vision of you. Because the internet, you are what the internet says you are. And then you have all of your print media, okay? And then you have what you're saying interpersonally when you go to the networking events. If you don't take anything else away from here today, I want you to take this away. All of those things should match. They should all match. And they should all match because the sales cycle is no longer what it used to be either. It used to be a straight line. This is really interesting to me. The sales process and the purchase process used to be a straight line. I send out my push marketing. I put a pay-per-click ad out there. I drive them to my website. They go to my website. They click on my website. They purchase my widget. Okay, that wasn't so long ago. That was like a year ago that was the purchase process. Now the purchase process is a really ugly, messy, ziggy-zaggy line. They saw it on Twitter. They may have heard about it, somebody mentioned it. They may go out and look at your website, but then they're going to leave your website and go out to Google. They're going to see if anybody wrote a review about you on Yelp. They're going to ask their friends on Twitter. So it's all out here. And then they come back around to you. So wherever they see you, whenever they talk to you, whenever they are exposed to your story and to your product or service, it better look the same. It better smell the same. How's that? That's the sniff test right there. Is that not the biggest nose you've ever seen? So it has to pass the sniff test. Because if they see that you're one person when you're sitting here with me, but you talk about your product differently on your brochure, and then it looks different again on your Twitter account, they're going to say something's wrong. You know, Lee's not really being authentic. Maybe she doesn't know what she's talking about. Maybe she just isn't as good as at what she does as she thinks she is. My mama tells me that once in a while. Hey, that's my mama. She's visiting today. Turn around and say, hi, Mom. She came to visit, and I said, guess where I'm going? You get to go and sit at the table. So it has to pass the sniff test. And that's the most important thing for you today. You brand everything. The message is the same. The colors is the same. The keywords are the same through every piece of every print and online collateral. So one of the first action items for you to take away, I think as a new business owner, first, and you heard it earlier, is to have a sense about who you are. And I mean that from a branding perspective. When we started Professional Mojo, because I've sat right where you are, as a matter of fact, at an Entrepreneur Day, and we wanted a sense of whimsical and color. You see our little monsters, you see our bright orange koozies, and no matter where you go and what you see about us, you'll see those same colors, that same little weird squiggly thing. We call it the Mardi Gras snail. The Mardi Gras snail. So you need to have a sense of who you are. And then number two, you need to have that list of keywords. You need to write down a list of 10 keywords or phrases, no more than 3 or 4 words per phrase, that describes clearly and succinctly what your product and service does. And those are the things, and make sure they're tight, and you may go through several permutations of that. And those are the things that will begin to form the basis of your digital portfolio and your overall marketing portfolio. So those are the 5 key trends. So if your brain is buzzing right now because you learned something new, you know every time you learn something new, you get a new wrinkle in your brain. So one of the few times you'll hear me say, I hope you're very, very wrinkly when you leave here today. It's okay. At release expected at 3 a.m., you'll pop up and go, digital portfolio, I need to work on that. All right. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for staying. Gosh. Thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you, Lee. We appreciate you guys coming today. Thank you so much for attending Entrepreneur Day, and please visit our vendors and have a great afternoon. Thank you.